and some good stuff. Hey, what's up guys? It's Monica here, and today we are going to talk about coffee. How to stop drinking coffee and start living a healthier life. Are you addicted to coffee? Do you feel like you can't get your day started without 1, 2, 3 plus cups of coffee? Are you tired of craving something and feeling like you can't function without this thing? Or do you just want to save some money and stop wasting money on buying coffee all the time? I've been coffee free for 3.5 months now. I've tried my best to wean myself off of caffeine, so that's exactly what I want to talk about today, because a lot of people have asked me, how the heck could you give up coffee? How did you do it? What the heck are you drinking instead of coffee if you're replacing it? And I have the answer to all of those questions, so let's get started. I never thought that I would give up coffee, if I'm being really honest with you. I wasn't one of those people who would have like 3 cups a day, but I'm not a morning person whatsoever. I'm kind of equivalent to those people that are like, don't talk to me until I've had my first cup of coffee. That was literally me less than 3.5 months ago, which is crazy that I'm sitting here making this video right now. I felt myself going down a really scary road, and I just wanted to live a healthier life. I knew that coffee had a lot of negative effects on the body, and I wanted to see if there was something else that I could do. So I embarked on this journey to see if I could find other alternatives to coffee and if I could ever live without having coffee in the morning every day. So just like everyone else that loves coffee and finds themselves in a little coffee addiction, I use coffee to increase my productivity, reduce brain fog, wake myself up in the morning, honestly just for the flavor aspect because I like the way it tastes. And also a social and cultural aspect as well. By social, I mean like, oh, do you want to grab a cup of coffee or meet up at Starbucks? And by cultural, I mean that I'm Cuban, and if you know anything about Cubans or Hispanics, we love our espresso and our butelo, or café butelo. If you've ever seen the yellow bricks of espresso in the supermarket, my family lives on that. So all of these benefits, like why would I stop drinking coffee if there's all these benefits? And I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. There are so many negative effects, and for me, I got to the point where the negative effects outweighed the positive effects, and that's exactly why I tried to figure out a different way to go about this. But coffee for me, honestly, gave me so much anxiety. Like I already struggle with anxiety and trying to just keep myself calm during stressful situations, and coffee just really heightened that anxiety for me. It gave me like rapid heartbeat, headaches if I didn't have it. It gave me restlessness, like I would just feel so jittery. I'd go from having no energy to having all of the energy for like peak an hour or 2, and then I would just crash. I was just dependent on it. I felt like it was impossible to start my day without it. If you have heartburn, this could be a really big cause of your heartburn. And last but not least, I really want to talk about this. This is a disclaimer to any men watching. This is a female problem and the main reason why I stopped drinking coffee, but it causes breast tenderness, pain in the breasts, and sensitivity. I honestly wasn't sure why, like it would hurt to hug people. A doctor had mentioned that it could be caused by an overconsumption of caffeine. So I had run this coffee experiment to see if it would go away. And guys, I mean, ladies, your breast tenderness will go away if you stop drinking coffee. Like, this is revolutionary for me. Quite a few women that I have told that suffer from this have realized that their coffee consumption habits are directly linked to their breast tenderness. So if you're really struggling with this and you're willing to make a switch to lower caffeine levels in your beverages, I promise you it's going to be worth it. You're going to be so happy that you heard this tip, because I have been pain-free ever since I stopped drinking coffee. I want to talk about exactly how I quit so that I can teach you guys in a 3-step system exactly how you can quit too. The first thing that I did was see if there was an opportunity for me to quit easier. And this is kind of weird, so I'll explain it. But I was actually leaving a very structured 9-to-5 job at the time, and I knew that within the week I was no longer going to be waking up at like 6:30 in the morning. So I knew that I could kind of regulate my sleep schedules, and while I cut back on the caffeine, I had the opportunity to wake up later in the morning or deal with headaches or brain fog that I knew were gonna come with quitting this addiction. So if you have an opportunity to leverage, use it. Like, for example, if you're going on vacation, I feel like I kind of wean myself off of coffee when I'm on vacation because it's just not easily accessible to me. So if you have that opportunity, definitely leverage it. There's a caveat. This is not an excuse to wait like a month, 3 months, 6 months to wean yourself off coffee if you feel like it's going to be beneficial for your health. Because you're still able to do this same exact thing even if you don't have the perfect time coming up to quit. The second tip that I have for you is drinking tons of water. Drinking water first thing in the morning and making sure that you're drinking water regularly throughout the day. Being hydrated is so important for your health, and I could go on a whole separate tangent about this, but it's going to be especially important during this time because when you're getting yourself off of the caffeine, you might experience headaches. To fight those headaches, definitely stay hydrated, and I also recommend Tylenol. Step number 3, last but not least, this is really going to help you cut out coffee. Supplement your coffee with a different form of caffeine that is at a much lower quantity and dose so that you don't become dependent on that source and you can still function. If you don't have any caffeine in a day, you still have full energy capacity, but you can use it on the days that you need a little extra pick-me-up and you're not completely going cold turkey. My number 1 replacement during this time of no caffeine has to be mud water, and that's exactly what I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking a mud water iced latte. So I'm gonna tell you what the heck mud water is and why it's like the best thing that could have happened to me. Okay, so this is mud water. I discovered this brand online when I was looking for coffee alternatives. 1 tablespoon of this has 1/7 of a cup of coffee, of a tall Pike Place at Starbucks. So you're getting about 30 milligrams of caffeine, considering the average 12-ounce cup of coffee has about 105 milligrams of caffeine, which is insane. These are all the ingredients. That's how natural this stuff is. It's made from Masala chai, which is a cinnamon-based black tea, and I'm not even one to like cinnamon, so I'm super surprised that I love the taste of this. It is the only thing that I have ever found to give me the energy boost that I need throughout my day without giving me that jittery feeling. Like I never get to that point where I'm just like, oh my God, like I feel myself shaking with anxiety and like my heart is beating out of my chest. I'm like getting a little hot flash going on. Like no, whatever I need to get done, I can sit down at a desk and work for like 8 hours straight. No joke, if I wanted to, with having drank this mud water. This is my secret to productivity. There's no jitters, there's no anxiety, there's no crashing, there's only healthy energy, sugar-free, and it also has only 20 calories inside. I ordered the starter kit when I first ordered on mud water, and it came with a recipe book. And I was able to recreate all of these recipes. Every recipe that I tried were all delicious. In this tube, you get mud powder. See, it kind of looks like turmeric. You mix this mud powder in with milk, with creamer, with honey, with water. It also comes with this milk frother, which at first I was like, do I get the starter kit? Do I really need a milk frother? I was like, you know what? Let me just give the frother a chance. Guys, what the heck? This is an awesome frother. This thing is so powerful. This thing is wild. I want to tell you my first impression when I made this mud latte. I put way too much of the mud powder inside my drink. It became a clump in my throat and I was like, what the heck? I don't like this. But I loved that like feeling that I got of being able to be productive without jittery. So I was like, you know what? Let me give it another shot. And I found that I needed to find the right ratio of how much powder I was putting to how much milk and water I was putting. And I had a couple of my friends try it because they were just so curious about this thing that I've been drinking every day. And they were actually like, hey, it's not bad. It looks really weird and it smells really weird, but it actually tastes pretty good. I also ended up pulling the trigger on this product because I love their mission to encourage our society to live healthier lives as a whole. And that's exactly the mission that I'm on, to live a healthier life for myself and to inspire all of you guys to do the same. And I just was really called by their mission. So that's how I ended up pulling the trigger on this product in the first place. And now that I've seen what it's done for me, it's something that I keep in my cabinet at all times. If you guys are interested in purchasing this product, I do have a link down below. And if you use the code MUDFAM20, you can get 20% off your first order. I highly recommend it. I really do. I wouldn't be sitting here telling you guys about this. I also asked my dentist about this. She said to make sure that I'm brushing my teeth 30 minutes after having mud water. She said if you brush under the 30-minute window since you've had your mud, you're actually brushing the product into the enamel. Instead, I finish my mud, I wait my 30 minutes, and then I brush my teeth. So that way I can actually brush the product off of my teeth. I have 2 more secrets up my sleeve on how I stopped drinking coffee. One of them being English breakfast tea. I love English breakfast tea, and I knew that I did ever since I went to England and I had milk in my tea and little sugar cubes. I was like, what the heck is this so fancy, this tea? And I absolutely fell in love with it. So now whenever I go to Starbucks, I order a black English breakfast tea latte with almond milk, and it hits the spot every single time. It has about 40 milligrams of caffeine compared to the 33 in the mud water latte. It's still very low. The third trick up my sleeve, chai lattes, matcha lattes, and taro lattes. As I said before, I'm not super big on cinnamon flavor, and sometimes when I order a chai latte, it's almost too spicy for me and has too much cinnamon flavor, so I feel like that's a gamble for me. But it has 26 milligrams of caffeine in a standard 12-ounce mug, so it's also a great alternative. Matcha is in this list because I know it's a very popular option. I'm personally not a fan of matcha whatsoever. If you love matcha, you're consuming about 38 milligrams of caffeine instead of 105 milligrams. And then my last option is taro tea, which is a new discovery of mine. I didn't know that I would love this, but it was delicious when I tried it. And it has 25 milligrams of caffeine, so another great alternative. This isn't even to mention like iced tea and refreshers like that they have at Starbucks and stuff. If you're going out for a social gathering or someone wants to grab coffee, there are now so many different alternatives that you can turn to. Once you get your levels regulated and you're not used to consuming like 100 to 300 milligrams of caffeine in a day, you're gonna be okay with having like 20 milligrams, and that's gonna be so good for you. You'll still get like that little oomph and pep in your step that we all love from our coffee, and you're not gonna have all of the negative effects. It's gonna be such a lifestyle change for you guys. I promise you, I wouldn't be sitting here saying this if it wasn't amazing and if it didn't change my life, and if I didn't hope that it's gonna go out there into the internet and change your lives. If you drink 3-4 cups of coffee a day, please don't try to quit cold turkey. You're really gonna suffer. You know, like try to start reducing the amount of caffeine you have in a day and then implement these tactics that I'm sharing with you. And know yourself, like know what you need. I knew that I needed some other drink for a social gathering. What is something else that I can supplement this with? And I knew that I needed something that gave me energy throughout my day, so I had to replace coffee with another alternative in order to be successful in making this switch. It's the same exact process that I used for quitting dairy. That's a whole separate tangent. If you'd want to see a video on that, I'm gonna link it for you guys so you can check it out. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. I have been making a lot of content around moving cross country from New Jersey to California, and this is the first video that's kind of broken up that series and been something a little different. I've been wanting to make this video for literally 3.5 months since I discovered mud water and made the switch to no coffee and way less caffeine in my life. If you're interested in seeing the other videos in my series, I'm gonna link them down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.